Dear kid, my adored, I encourage you to take a deep breath while you read this, since the following information will have an unanticipated emotional impact on you. My child, please pay careful attention to my instructions. Your destiny has been altered in an unforeseen way. The third party, the person who stood between you and your soulmate, has abruptly vanished, leaving no trace. Subsequently, your soulmate disclosed a secret that they had kept for years. I must warn you, my beloved, before I reveal the facts they disclosed. Do not skip or rush, as each syllable is interconnected with your future. If even one sentence is omitted, it will be impossible to understand why this confession has arrived now, many years later. Before I continue, my child, I beseech you to subscribe to this holy voice, regardless of whether you are watching or reading this. Heaven is alerting me that you have ignored the signals designed to protect your peace, relationships, and destiny. My darling, please pay attentive attention. Your partner hasn't remained silent because they don't love you. They maintained their silence due to their overwhelming affection for you. I reiterate, my child, they were not apprehensive about losing you. They were concerned about not being sufficient for you. You were consistently the answer to their heartfelt inquiries. However, they thought they were the problem in your life. The third party did not depart due to a disagreement, my beloved. They chose not to go due to a misinterpretation. They left as a result of the disclosure of the truth. Finally, the truth was exposed. It also forced your friend to acknowledge a topic they had been unwilling to tackle. It wasn't remorse, my child. It was not out of sympathy. It was not a source of anxiety. Your soulmate confessed as a result of observing a portent. This indicates that they may permanently lose your favor. My dearest, you are ignorant, but a recent incident has shaken their mood. Someone advised them that you may continue on. Their sanity was threatened by that solitary thought. My sweetheart, you were not the only one who wept. They were also weeping, but in silence, where no one could observe. Your soulmate, my lover, confessed because they could no longer bear the agony of seeing you veer from their destiny. Please, my darling, don't disregard this. When anxiety becomes unbearable, love always speaks. Today, that day has arrived. Currently, my beloved Archangel Michael stands between you and this misunderstanding. He's informing you that this confession was not an error. The truth was expelled by a celestial force. Destiny erased the third party, my child, because they were never part of your divine narrative. My beloved, you've always been inseparable. Your energies were interwoven prior to the union of your bodies. My darling, there is a more profound truth that you must comprehend, and it will alter your perspective on the entire situation. The third party was not chosen by your soulmate. They elected to be afraid. They chose an unreasonable course of action due to their fear of losing you, my cherished. And finally, love has prevailed over fear. My darling, the confession that was delivered today is not merely a collection of words. It serves as a portal to your destiny. My beloved, you are reading this because heaven does not want you to respond quickly, judgment hastily, or depart in fury. You are perusing this to gain insight into the inner workings of the heart that adores you. My darling, you are not the only one who is susceptible to affection. You are the person who has retained the purity of affection. My dearest, you were not left behind. You were safeguarded from an inconvenient timing. Divine connections are impermanent, my child. They hesitate. And when the appropriate moment arrives, the universe eliminates any obstructions that were keeping the reunion from occurring. My dearest, That is precisely what has transpired at this moment. My darling, the angels have eliminated the third party in order to rewrite your love story in accordance with the original plan of heaven. If you suffer palpitations while reading this, please stay alert. It is not an accident if your heart is racing or your chest feels heavy. It is the recognition of the truth by your consciousness. Your soulmate, my child, desires to reconstruct everything from the ground up. However, this time, with candor. My darling, the revelations they made will either heal or destroy you. It is contingent upon whether or not you continue to read until the conclusion. Please pay close attention, my sweetheart. If you stop your efforts now, you will never be able to pinpoint the exact cause that pushed them to confess on this particular day. Beloved, everything is about to be revealed. The full truth, the complete rationale, and the complete outcome. And it commences with this single sentence that they murmured in their hearts. I have never desired to be with anyone else. I was merely apprehensive that I was unworthy of them. My darling, there is much more. The subsequent section will disclose the rationale. It will disclose the cause of their abrupt apprehension. The prophecy that pushed them to speak today, as well as their dream regarding you. My child, my beloved, I am asking you to prepare your heart before I disclose the next section, as the information that follows will alter your perspective on everything. It will alter the confession, the return, the silence, the separation, the distance, and the anguish. My darling, the confession did not happen because they suddenly remembered you. The confession was prompted by an event that frightened their psyche. My dearest, they observed you in a dream. They saw you in a dream, but not in the way they were used to. You were beaming alongside someone else as you moved away from them. Please pay close attention, my sweetheart. They were unable to awaken from that reverie. They woke up with a scream. In that fantasy, my beloved, you were finally liberated. You were liberated from the agony, the disappointment, and the unresolved inquiries. You were satisfied, and they were not the cause. Dear kid, your soulmates watched you from afar, unable to communicate, intervene, or stop you. When your name was called, you did not turn to see. When they awoke, their chests were burning with pain. Water was present on their pillow. Their heartbeat was irregular. Those dreams, my adored, caused a profound emotional impact on them. It caused them to recognize that the loss of you would be more devastating than any other event. That dream, my kid, broke the silence they had maintained for so long due to fear. For the first time, my sweetheart realized that silence is not a kind of safety. Silence is a form of mourning. However, the third party, my child, did not disappear by error. The moment your soulmate recognized that no one, absolutely no one, could replace you, their presence collapsed. Heaven removed the distraction because your partner has finally humbled their ego, my beloved. They acknowledged the truth. Please pay close attention, my sweetheart. The confession you are about to hear today is not insignificant. It is a transformative experience. My beloved, they did not confess in order to reclaim you. They confessed since they couldn't continue breathing without telling the truth. My infant was not coerced into speaking. They were compelled to experience emotions by fate. My beloved, even the most steadfast pride is rendered impotent when the soul is overcome by destiny. Your soulmate, my kid, tried to live without you, and it was unsuccessful. They endeavored to forget you, but they were unsuccessful. However, they were unable to convince themselves that someone else could bring them happiness. When they awoke, their chests were burning with pain. Water was present on their pillow. Their heartbeat was irregular. Those dreams, my adored, caused a profound emotional impact on them. It caused them to recognize that the loss of you would be more devastating than any other event. That dream, my kid, broke the silence they had maintained for so long due to fear. For the first time, my sweetheart realized that silence is not a kind of safety. Silence, my kid, is a type of grieving. The third party's disappearance was not a mistake. The moment your soulmate recognized that no one, absolutely no one, could replace you, their presence collapsed. The distraction was eliminated by heaven, my beloved, as your soulmate humbled their ego. Finally, they acknowledged their reality. Please pay close attention, my sweetheart. The confession you are about to hear today is not insignificant. It is a transformative experience. My beloved, they did not confess in order to reclaim you. They confessed since they couldn't continue breathing without telling the truth. My child, no one forced them to communicate, but he did. They were compelled to experience emotions by fate. My beloved, even the most steadfast pride is rendered impotent when the soul is overcome by destiny. My child, your soulmate endeavored to establish an existence without you, but he was unsuccessful. They endeavored to forget you, but they were unsuccessful. They tried to convince themselves that they could be satisfied with the companionship of another person. They were unsuccessful. My sweetheart, the third party was constantly conscious that your soulmate did not adore them. My child, they could sense it in every moment, in every silence, every day. This is why the third individual departed discreetly. They did not run from your soulmate. They withdrew from a love they knew they couldn't conquer. My dearest, they knew the truth long before your soulmate admitted it. Your soulmate, my child, confessed because there was no longer any place to conceal, no excuse to invoke, and no distraction to obstruct the truth. The one thing they should have spoken years ago, my beloved, has now been said. I adored you, despite my denials. My darling, that sentence is not the entirety of the confession. It is only the beginning. My love, there is another reality. They are apprehensive about disclosing a more profound truth. The real reason they separated themselves from you, my child. They hesitated from leaving because of your fragility. They left because of your enormous strength. My adored, they perceived in you a future that they did not believe was theirs. They perceived an affection in you that they were unable to properly comprehend. They saw a purity in you that they couldn't manage. Please take your time reading this, my sweetheart. Your soulmate has not fled from you. They ran from the fear of disappointing you. My beloved, they convinced themselves that you would ultimately see your worth and go. As a result, they made every effort to leave you before the suffering began. My infant, however, was entangled in their own web by fate. They missed you the moment they tried to forget you. When they tried to replace you, they compared you to everyone else. They realized that no other heart felt as good as yours as soon as they let you go. My dearest, this is the reason for their confession today. Why? Because heaven chose this moment. Not the past or the future, but this very moment to reorganize your destiny, my child. However, there is one last component. The most amazing element is this. The portion that they are even hesitant to express aloud. They did more than simply express their love for me. They disclosed the reason for their eventual return. It isn't because they're ready. It is not related to their rehabilitation. It is not due to their sudden increase in strength. They returned because of the warning they got, my child. A spiritual omen regarding you, my beloved. And man informed them that if they did not return immediately, they would forfeit their presence for the rest of their lives. Who informed them? What warning did they get? Despite their fear, what factor compelled them to return to you? What you are about to hear is important, my kid, my beloved. This is the most critical component of the entire discourse. This is the point at when everything is finally understood. The unexpected return, the confession, the dread, and the timing. Your soulmate, my kid, did not confess because they were simply experiencing love. From the outset, love has been present. They confessed after receiving a warning that made their souls freeze. My beloved, the warning was not delivered by anyone on earth. It originated from an individual who is no longer a part of this universe. Certainly, someone on the other side addressed my child. In their dream, a departed ghost, or someone connected to you, appeared and addressed your love by name. This soul warned them, "You will forever lose them if you do not speak now, my child." Initially, your sweetheart tried to dismiss the dream that I adored. They initially thought the dream was a fabrication of their mind, but it lasted 3 nights in a row. My child, the volume of the voice rose on the 3rd night. It became more evident, irrefutable. This time, the soul's remark was so profound that your soulmate felt obligated to confess. The ghost alerted my beloved that a new person was on their way. Someone who will show their admiration in a noisy manner. They will adore you with the same confidence and bravery that you were unable to summon. At that precise moment, your soulmate experienced the separation of their heart, my child. They saw you happy and laughing while being deeply loved by another person. My beloved, this was not due to envy. This was an act of terror. I'm frightened of losing the only person who has ever felt like home. My child awoke with a numb body, trembling hands and tears in their eyes. They were unable to exhale. They were unable to comprehend. My beloved, they were unable to sustain their facade any longer. They retrieved their mobile cell phone. They checked your identity. For the first time in years, they were not preoccupied with ego, pride, or terror. My child, since the soul from heaven revealed to them the truth, which they had never before considered, they are not needed by you. My beloved, they are the ones who require your assistance. That sentence breached every internal barricade they had built. No anxiety is unwarranted. Every uncertainty. All insecurities had been handled. My darling, the departed soul then left one final word. The message that completely dismantled their resistance. Please breathe deeply before reading this, my dearest. The soul advised them that their destiny was about to change. You will not be able to participate in the miracle that has been written for them unless you are present. My child, that was the instant your soulmate lost all control. They confessed because destiny had trapped them. The universe informed them that their hesitation would result in the loss of their life. My dearest, this is the reason they abruptly summoned the courage to speak. This is the reason why the third party disappeared. This explains why the timing is unexpected. My child, you are currently in an unusual situation, a heavenly turning point. It's a moment when love transcends emotion and becomes spiritual. My dearest, the message is not yet concluded. There is one more reality, the most significant portion of the confession, that will upset you even more. My beloved, they will not return to relive the past. My child, they are returning to edit it. The following is the piece that destiny wants you to be aware of. The miracle that has entered your life isn't only about love. It refers to the intersection of love and stability, love and growth, and love and purpose. My dearest, you and your soulmate are embarking on a journey in which love fortifies you, destiny provides for you, timing is in your favor, and heaven safeguards you, my child. However, heaven also gives you a choice, because love is a choice rather than a requirement. Before the ultimate counsel is revealed, Archangel Michael would like to advise you of the following, my beloved. My child, your soul deserves everlasting love, your heart deserves peace, and your future deserves happiness. Before I disclose the ultimate heavenly guidance, my beloved, I wish to impart a profound knowledge to you that the majority of individuals never acquire in their lifespan. Love is not an exam that one must pass. Each day, you make a decision about your love. My child, the universe is not asking you to ignore your pain. My lover, the universe is asking you to decide what emotional experience you want to have in the future. This is why paradise will reveal both possible routes. The road if you want to proceed independently, and the path if you accept your soulmate's return. Read with a calm attitude. Read without apprehension. Read without haste. Because the forthcoming chapter of your life will be influenced by your decision. If you accept your soulmate's return, both hearts will begin to heal profoundly. Misunderstandings from the past will be addressed. Finally, suppressed feelings will be articulated. Fears that have been concealed will be revealed. Slowly but elegantly, trust will be re-established. Upon choosing them again, my adored, not out of fear of losing them, but rather out of a sense of tranquility within yourself, your relationship will be fortified beyond the capacity of any adversary. Working together, my darling, will allow you to break free from the restrictions of the past. Instead of shutting down, engage in communication. Instead of agitating one another, show mutual support. Rather than fleeing from a future, construct it. My dearest, if you consent to them this time, love will not deplete you. The lesson has already been learned. Love will raise you, and heaven will bless this reunion. You will not face any penalties if you choose to withdraw, my darling. You will not be isolated. You will not have to suffer indefinitely. If you put your well-being ahead of your relationship, heaven will guide you to a new existence. A life in which your self-esteem is steadfast, and a new person emerges who will adore you courageously and loudly from the start. My child, you will ascend to such heights that your tears will transform into strength and your sorrow into wisdom. However, you must comprehend, my dear, that the anguish of departing will be brief. Both of you will experience a protracted period of regret. As a result, the real decision for you is not whether or not I should return them. The genuine decision is which path will bring tranquility to my spirit. My darling, the compass of heaven is serenity. Destiny, my beloved, is placed where tranquility is. If the mere thought of releasing them causes your chest to sink, and the mere thought of re-establishing a relationship with them evokes warmth rather than dread, then love is still alive, not dying. However, if the notion of a future with them weighs on your heart, while the thought of a life without them seems liberated, the lesson has been completed, not the love. Archangel Michael, my darling, does not make decisions for you. He encourages you to base your decisions on clarity rather than misery. The final heavenly guidance is as follows. If you agree to them, Do so in full transparency. Avoid doing so out of dread. If you choose to move away, do so with a sense of closure rather than bitterness. My dear, the heart that makes an honest decision is not punished by destiny. However, it is important to carefully consider the following sentence. It is the most crucial. Your life is about to embark on a fortunate chapter, regardless of whether you opt to remain or depart. A miracle is coming, my child. Not as a result of your partner, but rather of yourself. Because you maintained your compassion in the face of adversity. As a result of your ability to love despite your anguish. Your heart was not allowed to turn bitter as a result of sadness. Heaven never rejects a good character, my beloved. The next stage of your life will bring you recognition and respect, stability and comfort, financial success, and mental tranquility. Within yourself, you will feel a sense of belonging. Your soulmate's return is a component of the blessing, but you are the focal point of the blessing, my child. My lover, there is one last message, the final holy murmur, the message that heaven has been waiting to say for the longest. You were never difficult to adore. You were only anticipating the person who could exhibit affection for you. My child, heaven ensures that you will not spend the rest of your life alone, whether that person is a returning friend or a newcomer who has yet to arrive. My sweetheart, you are approaching the point where love will be experienced as a source of comfort rather than tension, and home will be recognized as a person rather than a physical location. The time for you to weep in solitude has concluded. My darling, the moment has come for you to receive the affection you deserve. Your emotions will experience a sense of lightness over the course of the next 7 days. You will begin to experience a sensation of tranquility without any apparent cause. Signs will appear in a variety of places, including repeating numbers, dreams, names, music, spontaneous memories, and unexpected feelings. My beloved, these are not just coincidences. These are spiritual confirmations that the healing process is underway and that the energy between you and your soulmate is shifting. During these 7 days, you will experience less overthinking, more confidence, emotional clarity, and a strong sense of direction. My child, you will intuitively recognize that the tempest is concluding. My dearest, the subsequent 21 days will be characterized by communication, clarity, and connection. Either your opponent will express a strong emotional sentiment, or the cosmos will reveal the truth to you. It is impossible to ignore. My child, this communication can take the form of a lengthy message, an emotional talk, a phone call, a face-to-face contact, or even a confession through another person. My dearest, these 21 days serve as an intermediary between our souls. Whether or not hubris exists, destiny will triumph over it. This stage will result in more self-awareness, self-assurance, decreased dread, and a greater reliance on intuition. My darling, the truth that has been hidden for years will now be presented in a plain and incontrovertible manner. My dearest, the subsequent 45 days will witness a significant positive transformation, the miraculous phase. This is the point at which the emotional and spiritual shift becomes tangible, real, and authentic. It can emerge in a variety of ways, depending on the decisions made by your emotions. Love will become stable and consistent if you are intended to reunite with your soulmate. It will be deeply healing and maturing. My dear, they took out their phone, looked up your name, and for the first time in years, they were free of ego, pride, and terror. My child, since the soul from heaven revealed to them the truth, which they had never before considered. They are not needed by you. My beloved, they are the ones who require your assistance. That sentence breached every internal barricade they had built. Every insecurity, doubt, and anxiety was dispelled. My darling, the departed soul then left one final word. The message that completely dismantled their resistance. Please breathe deeply before reading this, my dearest. The soul advised them that their destiny was about to change. You will not be able to participate in the miracle that has been written for them unless you are present. My child, that was the instant your soulmate lost all control. They confessed because destiny had trapped them. The universe informed them that their hesitation would result in the loss of their life. My dearest, this is why they suddenly mustered the strength to speak. This is the reason why the third party disappeared. This explains why the timing is unexpected. My kid, you are witnessing a one-of-a-kind moment, a miraculous turning point in which love is both emotional and spiritual. Hello, my dear. However, the message is not yet completed. There is one more reality, the most significant portion of the confession that will upset you even more. My child, your soulmate's return was not solely motivated by the apprehension of losing you. They returned because they discovered an unexpected side of you. They also learned you were concealing a wound, my dear, accidentally inflicting a lesion. Your soulmate, my child, admitted that the most profound sorrow of their lives was realizing that they were the cause. They were the cause of your silence, overthinking, trust issues, loneliness, and sorrow. My dearest, that remorse is greater than any obstacle they have ever faced. My children are now objecting to distance. I do not want to be a source of confidence. I'm not interested in dread. My adored ones want to heal. My darling, they wish to restore your health using the same hands that previously caused you harm. However, the following is the most remarkable variation. For the time being, destiny has kept the portion. Your soulmate confessed because they are of the opinion that you are on the brink of entering the most potent phase. Success. Stability. Acknowledgement. Prosperity. Transformation. They did not want to see your brightness from afar, my adored. They wished to remain at your side during this time. My dear, the cosmos has finally reconciled your paths. However, the subsequent events will be contingent upon your decision, my dear. Before making that decision, it is critical that you are aware of the ultimate truth. My offspring is the one who discloses. My dearest, the subsequent lines contain the most profound truth of this entire message. Heaven has concealed the truth until now. Slowly read. Every sentence holds a piece of your future. Your counterpart, my kid, did not only confess for fear of losing you. They confessed because they finally acknowledged the truth that their consciousness has known since the beginning. You are not just someone they adore. My dearest, you are their destiny. They notified the spirits that they were ready at this time. I am prepared to advocate for you, prepared to protect you. I am willing to stand with you rather than escape from you. My child, they acknowledge that they have never been themselves with anyone else, except for you. Every chuckle shared with others was artificial. Each interaction with people was without feeling. Each interaction with others was akin to a waiting game. My dearest, I am anticipating your arrival. Their hearts desire for something they are too afraid to say openly. They are interested in starting a new chapter with you, not a repeat of the past, not an extension of the earlier discomfort, a new chapter that has been entirely rewritten. Please take this seriously, my sweetheart. They aren't interested in long-lasting love. They desire a relationship that can promote healing, My lover, people prefer to awaken in a condition of peace rather than fear. They are interested in providing you with the truth, not in concealing it behind explanations. They desire to establish a future with you, my child, rather than speculate about your potential departure. They want a love that symbolizes the daily decision to choose each other. Open speech is preferable to solitary pondering, resolving issues rather than avoiding them. Rather of training each other, provide a secure environment. Your sweetheart has a plan, my love. A strategy that has not yet been announced. Archangel Michael is currently revealing a plan. They aspire to establish a life in which one never has to question their value again. My beloved, they wish to express their love for you in a way that has never been seen before. The type of love that is unwavering, mature, loyal, and fearless. My beloved aspires to be a reliable individual. You should not mourn for someone. Instead, you should trust them. Not someone you are concerned about losing. A person who encourages your goals. Not someone who impedes your growth. My child, they are ultimately prepared to mature, not to flee. My dear, they demand a very specific item from you. Something their spirit is quietly pleading for. They want to restore your faith in them. Not because they are deserving of it. However, they are willing to earn it on a daily basis in the future. Your soulmate, my child, is aware of the hurt they have caused you. They understand that they have failed you down. My beloved, they are aware that they have betrayed your confidence. This is why they are not looking for your steadfast confidence this time. They seek the opportunity to obtain it. Your partner, my kid, has prayed. Yes, I'm in prayer. Praying to the gods for another chance to complete the assignment right. My dear, they revealed facts to God which surprised the angels. Take them away from me forever if I ever harm their hearts again. That is all my offspring are concerned about right now. Not desperate, devoted, or my adored. They are not returning to relive the past. My child, they are returning to edit it. The following is the piece that destiny wants you to be aware of. The miracle that has entered your life isn't only about love. It refers to stability, affection, and alignment. Growth and affection. The union of love and purpose. My dearest, you and your mate are embarking on a new chapter in which love will strengthen you. Destiny supports you. Your timing is advantageous. My dear, the heavens protect you. However, heaven also gives you a choice, because love is a choice rather than a requirement. Before the ultimate counsel is revealed, Archangel Michael would like to advise you of the following, my beloved. Your heart is entitled to tranquility. Your future is deserving of joy. Love that endures is due to your spirit. Amen. My dearest kid, time is running out, and you can feel it before I say it. Currently, the atmosphere around you is unusual. There's a convergence. Something is becoming more constrictive. Kindly avoid from skipping. Stay until the end. Something of enormous proportions awaiting you. And each second you spend here is more important than you would know. Your arrival at this very moment was not an accident. You've come to a halt amidst the millions of scrolling fingers, countless films, and distractions. That alone constitutes a tale. Furthermore, the story is not arbitrary. It is accurate. It's deliberate. It's rapidly approaching. 2 minutes remaining does not correspond to the time on a timepiece. It refers to an aperture. A window that is opened once and never reopened in the same way. The majority of individuals fail to observe its opening. You understand that this already distinguishes you. Kindly avoid from skipping. Stay until the end. You currently have a great opportunity. Decisions are being filtered in a location apart from the chaos and commotion. Not in line with popularity. Not by chance. By means of signals. Signals that you have been transmitting without your knowledge. You are curious. Your perseverance. Despite the lack of any spectators, you are unwilling to concede. These are not trivial things. These are markers. You may be wondering, why me? The mere inquiry serves as evidence that you were the one who was required. Individuals who are selected cannot predict their selection. Individuals who pursue attention are never the ones who attract it. There is a reason for the urgency of this situation. A possible cause for the slight increase in your heart rate. An explanation for your want to continue listening. This is not entertainment. This is an issue of alignment. Kindly avoid from skipping. Stay until the end. Something of enormous proportions awaiting you. A name has been circulating in chambers that you have never visited. Not yelled. Unannounced. Quietly acknowledged. A term that is associated with resilience, behavior, and patterns. Furthermore, that name is more closely tied to yours than you could believe. Visionaries do not make decisions based on popular opinion. They investigate outliers. They observe those who persevere in the face of adversity. People who have different points of view. Individuals who are capable of maintaining duress without succumbing. This is why your prior struggles weren't in vain. Every delay. Each door that is closed. The questions you asked yourself each night helped develop something specific. You were being calibrated. Currently, only a few options are being considered. Not everyone is eligible for consideration. Fewer individuals are eligible to remain, and virtually no one is eligible to be selected. Kindly avoid from skipping. Stay until the end. Something of enormous proportions awaiting you. Elon Musk is a name you've probably heard many times before. However, this isn't about fame or making headlines. It is a matter of precision. Regarding recognizing value in areas that others may overlook. Individuals believe that decisions made at that level are both audacious and dramatic. They're not. They keep a modest profile. Accurate. Calculated. Years of effort can be misdirected with a single decision. A single choice can reveal doors that no amount of work can alone open. Additionally, the majority of individuals are incapable of comprehending the following. It is not required to be flawless in order to be chosen. It relates to ready. Currently, readiness is being measured by observation rather than action. Is it feasible for you to maintain focus throughout an important event? Can you resist the impulse to advance? Can you discern when a situation necessitates your undivided attention? Kindly avoid from skipping. Stay until the end. Something of enormous proportions awaiting you. The announcement does not meet the expectations of the public. It is not a broadcast. This message is not intended for a big audience. It's an acknowledgement. A muted acknowledgement that you were the exception when it mattered most. This is the explanation behind the unusual time. The reason for the suddenness. The reason it looks to have emerged out of nowhere. Significant changes are never announced with courtesy. When you least anticipate them, they arrive and determine whether you are sufficiently alert to receive them. You're as near as you've ever been. Not in close proximity to any sources of pollution. Nearly unambiguous. Maintain your concentration. Please refrain from scrolling. Kindly avoid from skipping. Stay until the end. Something of enormous proportions awaiting you. The future events are dependent on a single element. Regardless of whether you recognize the gravity of the situation before to its end. My precious offspring. The silence you are experiencing at this moment is not devoid of meaning. It is subject to a cost. The silence that precedes an irreversible event is characterized by its absence of sound. Kindly avoid from skipping. Stay until the end. Something of enormous proportions awaiting you. Additionally, this part is more important than the previous one. Moments like these are extremely rare due to the need for convergence. Timing, readiness, awareness, and attention must all be attained concurrently. The bulk of people miss it because they leave too soon. You're still present. That alone acts as a signal. Kindly avoid from skipping. Stay until the end. Something of enormous proportions awaiting you. The current condition is not publicly available. It was never intended to be. When judgments with real consequences are made, they are discreetly filtered layer by layer. Noise is eliminated. Distractions are eliminated. The only goal is to keep concentration. Right now, you are being asked a question that is not being expressed in language. Can you maintain your composure in the face of an investigation that requires you to act quickly? Is it feasible for you to keep your cool as anticipation grows? This is the method by which preparedness is assessed. Kindly avoid from skipping. Stay until the end. Something of enormous proportions awaiting you. Interest and selection are distinct concepts. Interest is prevalent. Choice is quite uncommon. Choice is the outcome of an individual recognizing unusual cognizance, clarity, and consistency. This explains why the news appears to be forthcoming but is not immediately obvious. It is not intended for all individuals. It is intended for people who have the ability to identify it before it manifests. Somewhere data is being evaluated. Patterns are being identified. The focus is on behavior rather than numerical values. The way you contemplate, wait, and remain when others leave. Kindly avoid from skipping. Stay until the end. Something of enormous proportions awaiting you. It is a common misconception that recognition is synonymous with commotion. They're inaccurate. Stillness is necessary for meaningful recognition. A state of peace in which all aspects are in harmony and a decision is obvious. This is how visionaries function. They refrain from seeking attention. They observe the alignment. Indeed, this alignment is directly related to Elon Musk. The mindset that underpins the decisions rather than the public image or the headlines. The ability to discern worth before it is publicly realized. That attitude is still in effect. It's concentration. Distractions are eliminated. It favors precision above popularity. Kindly avoid from skipping. Stay until the end. Something of enormous proportions awaiting you. You may experience an unusual combination of tranquility and anticipation. That's not an accident. That is recognition before confirmation. The majority of people never get to experience this because they don't remain for long enough. This is not a case of happenstance. It relates to the position. Regarding being in the right frame of mind when an opportunity arrives. The subsequent instant is of paramount importance. Not overdramatic. Not too noisy? Crucial. Please maintain your focus. Please refrain from scrolling. Kindly avoid from skipping. Stay until the end. Something of enormous proportions awaiting you. As a result of the conclusion of this section, the following actions are irreversible. My adored child, this is the juncture at which the majority of individuals experience the desire to turn their gaze. As a result, it is critical that you stop from performing the activity and avoid skipping it. Stay until the end. A big event is approaching, and it is more accessible than it has ever been. The suspense you are presently feeling is not designed for amusement. Confirmation precedes duress. The type of pressure that occurs when the last signal is detected and a choice is already being made. Kindly avoid from skipping. Stay until the end. Something of enormous proportions awaiting you. A brief period of sluggishness occurs prior to making a critical decision. The intelligence becomes keen. Distractions are rendered ineffective. There is only one remaining inquiry. Is anybody paying attention? Currently, that inquiry is being answered. You continue to be present, focused, and attentive. That is more significant than you may imagine. Kindly avoid from skipping. Stay until the end. Something of enormous proportions awaiting you. Selection is typically interpreted as the result of an individual's increased visibility, speed, or volume. That conviction is antiquated. Genuine selection occurs when a person shows cognizance prior to the announcement. This is why you have a wish to remain. Your intuition reacts before your logic catches up. Patterns are compared behind closed systems. No identities or faces should be shouted in public. Mental routines. Patience patterns. Patterns of endurance. This is the point at which the relationship is incontrovertible. Decisions that are influenced by individuals such as Elon Musk are never arbitrary. They are based on alignment, which entails recognizing individuals who have the same level of foresight and attention. Kindly avoid from skipping. Stay until the end. Something of enormous proportions awaiting you. It is not meant that you receive this information casually. You are expected to be fully present for it. Because the subsequent events are only understood by those who experienced the hushed intensity of this time. Many others will learn about the announcement at a later period. They will be astonished as to how they failed to notice the first warning. That query will not be raised. You're currently present. Kindly avoid from skipping. Stay until the end. Something of enormous proportions awaiting you. This is a narrowing. This is the final stretch, during which hesitation is eliminated and attention is confirmed. Be steadfast. Please refrain from scrolling. Avoid looking away. Stay until the end. Given that the next section changes the way this event is remembered. My beautiful child, the sensation you are currently experiencing is the edge of clarity, where uncertainty becomes significance. Kindly avoid from skipping. Stay until the end. Something of enormous proportions awaiting you. This portion is significant and will remain in your memory. This is the point at which expectation becomes acknowledgement. The time at which the mind stops thinking about what might happen and instead begins to understand the existing situation. Moments like this are not announced with much fuss. They only reveal themselves to those who are attentive. Kindly avoid from skipping. Stay until the end. Something of enormous proportions awaiting you. There is an explanation for why your concentration has increased rather than decreased. An explanation for maintaining your focus. Awareness naturally tightens as something noteworthy approaches. You are currently experiencing the sense of constriction. At this point, the majority of individuals experience a loss of patience. They are under the impression that nothing is occurring because no evident signs have been observed. They lose everything because of such notion. You remained. Kindly avoid from skipping. Stay until the end. Something of enormous proportions awaiting you. This is the point at which alignment is indisputable. Silence is when preparation meets opportunity. Decisions of consequence are not taken hastily, but they are decisive. They are irreversible once they have been manufactured. Consider that matter with consideration. A definitive confirmation is in the process of forming in an unknown location, not predicated on impulse, not based on excitement, on the basis of certainty. The type of certainty that is only apparent after a thorough examination. This is the process by which selections associated with individuals such as Elon Musk are finalized. This is not an accident. By way of clarification, by observing individuals who naturally stand out without attempting to do so, kindly avoid from skipping. Stay until the end. Something of enormous proportions awaiting you. You were never intended to pursue this moment. You must be well prepared for the occasion. As a result, this sensation is both relaxing and strong. Be at ease because you are prepared. Intense due to the understanding that an irreparable event is approaching. This is the threshold. This is the point at when focus shifts to involvement, and simply being there permits one to progress. It establishes you as a leader among millions of individuals who will only learn about this incident after the fact. Kindly avoid from skipping. Stay until the end. Something of enormous proportions awaiting you. Everything that follows is not intended for everyone. It is the property of those who endured the transition sufficiently to perceive it prior to its manifestation. Maintain your concentration. Please refrain from scrolling. Stay until the end. This moment cannot be relived in the same way once it has passed. My precious offspring. This is the point at which comprehension is established. The point at which the weight of the developing events finally settles into your chest. Kindly avoid from skipping. Stay until the end. Something of enormous proportions awaiting you. This section brings you closer than ever before. There is no more room for speculation in the current situation. It's a sequence. Each stage is completed with accuracy. The sequence that appears only when a choice has been delivered without ambiguity. Kindly avoid from skipping. Stay until the end. Something of enormous proportions awaiting you. You may have observed that your thoughts have diminished. Distractions, perceived distance. That's not a coincidence. When something significant approaches, the mind naturally finds place for it. Concentration is not coerced. Concentration is the process of selecting oneself. This is the distinction between passive observation and active participation. The majority of individuals conduct their lives in response to announcements. They learn about chances after it is too late to take advantage of them. You are present before the confirmation, prior to the disclosure, prior to the general public becoming aware. Kindly avoid from skipping. Stay until the end. Something of enormous proportions awaiting you. There is a reason why this relationship is so close. High-level decisions are never made with the throng in mind. They are designed for individuals who meet a highly specific profile. Quiet power. Long-term perspective. Remaining calm in the face of unknown outcomes. That profile is really uncommon. This is the reason your journey was never mundane. The reason shortcuts did not work for you. The reason why you were repeatedly compelled to exercise forbearance. You are being shaped for precision, not speed. Kindly avoid from skipping. Stay until the end. Something of enormous proportions awaiting you. Innovation is not the sole attribute of the name Elon Musk. It represents the process of selecting under duress, choosing a chosen few who can think beyond the present time and accept responsibility without creating a fuss. At present, that standard is in effect, and you are in agreement with it. This is the final refining prior to clarity. Before movement, there is a delay. The inhale that occurs before the start of motion. Kindly avoid from skipping. Stay until the end. Something of enormous proportions awaiting you. The tug you feel is not your imagination. Timing is of the essence, and you are detecting it. Please keep your focus. Please refrain from scrolling. Please stay until the end, as the next part fails to sufficiently prepare you. It reveals the amount of the preparations that have been performed. My dearest kid, the eagerness you are currently feeling is no longer there. It is a confirmation that is developing beneath the surface. Kindly avoid from skipping. Stay until the end. You are anticipating something major, and this is the point at which it becomes most obvious. Just prior to a significant transformation, a calm assurance emerges. It does not move too quickly. It does not produce a loud noise. It stabilizes. Right now, this is exactly what is happening. Kindly avoid from skipping. Stay until the end. Something of enormous proportions awaiting you. You may have observed that this no longer appears to be a narrative that you are hearing. It's as if you're living the moment from within. That change is critical. When consciousness rises above that level, events stop being abstract and become personal. This was not an accident. This is the process of alignment gradually unveiling itself. The majority of people never reach this stage because they leave when the situation gets calm. They mistake silence for vacancy. You described it as having profundity. Kindly avoid from skipping. Stay until the end. Something of enormous proportions awaiting you. At this level, decisions are no longer made on the basis of possibility. The emphasis is on appropriateness, particularly the ability to take the next step. Not everyone is capable of maintaining equilibrium. This is why your journey required patience, while others moved at a rapid rate. The reason for your request to delay while others were sped up. The audience is impressed by quickness. Stability creates the foundation for the future. That distinction is more important than ever. Kindly avoid from skipping. Stay until the end. Something of enormous proportions awaiting you. The current standard is the same as the standard used by individuals such as Elon Musk to select who has the right to be in the room before the rest of the world learns of its existence. Concentration. Endurance. The ability to think beyond the present time. You are not undergoing reaction testing. Consistency is exceedingly uncommon, and you are being scrutinized for it. Kindly avoid from skipping. Stay until the end. Something of enormous proportions awaiting you. At this time, distractions cease to exist, and only those who have maintained their focus can remain involved with the events happening. Recognize the peacefulness of this moment. Stillness is not the same as absence. It is the presence of conviction. Maintain your concentration. Please refrain from scrolling. Stay until the end, because the next section contains no further information. It confronts you with the realization that this moment has been building up to for an extended period of time. This is the moment, my little kid, when the line is subtly and irrevocably crossed. Kindly avoid from skipping. Stay until the end. Something of enormous proportions awaiting you. And the current happenings change the logical order of everything that has happened before. You can sense it right now. The hesitancy has been eliminated. The question has shifted from whether or not to when. Clarity is announced this way. With clarity rather than confusion. Kindly avoid from skipping. Stay until the end. Something of enormous proportions awaiting you. This section is distinct for a reason. The construction has been completed. Recognition is all that remains. Acknowledgement that this occasion was never intended to be rushed. You were meant to arrive at this exact spot and time. This is the moment where intention and outcome meet. Most people never go through this phase because they prioritize proof before making a commitment. However, at this level, dedication is prioritized. Proof is shown below. You remained. Kindly avoid from skipping. Stay until the end. Something of enormous proportions awaiting you. This is not a public declaration that is currently being finalized. This is a private alignment. A statement confirming that one person saw something that others did not. Others perceived silence, but that person perceived profundity. This is how Elon Musk-related decisions are made. Not impulsively or emotionally, but with a calm recognition that this is suitable. Fit is more important than anticipation. Kindly avoid from skipping. Stay until the end. Something of enormous proportions awaiting you. You may now understand why your course required prudence. The reason you were not promoted prematurely. Timing safeguards potential. This moment demanded that you embody your present self rather than your prior self. This isn't the conclusion. It's a threshold. Feel stable right now. You are ready as a result of that stability. Kindly avoid from skipping. Stay until the end. There is a huge event ahead of you, as the events that follow do not actively seek attention. It verifies the selection. This is the last moment of tension, my beloved child. The time when consciousness becomes irrevocable. Kindly avoid from skipping. Stay until the end. You are standing squarely in front of something massive, which is waiting for your arrival. Currently, the sensation you are feeling is not the result of your imagination. It is an acknowledgement. The kind that occurs when the purpose of a path you have quietly traversed is abruptly revealed. There were no arbitrary elements. Nothing was wasted. Kindly avoid from skipping. Stay until the end. Something of enormous proportions awaiting you. Currently, the signal is crystal clear. The disruption has been erased. The throng has dispersed. The only thing that remains is precision. The only thing remaining is intention. At this time, the outcomes are secure. Not via drama, but by conviction. You didn't force your way into this location. You remained present for an extended amount of time, allowing the moment to locate you. Kindly avoid from skipping. Stay until the end. Something of enormous proportions awaiting you. This is the time at which the announcement becomes tangible, eliminating the need for spoken words. Where selection is understood prior to disclosure. As a result, people will perceive this as an abrupt event. You're more knowledgeable. You sensed its formation before it arrived. This is the difference between onlookers and participants. The mentality that prevails in this setting is the same as that of Elon Musk when significant events occur. At ease, concentrated, accurate, without hesitation, absence of surplus. Alignment is sufficient. Kindly avoid from skipping. Stay until the end. Something of enormous proportions awaiting you. You may now see why you were able to stay when others would have left. Why did you experience patience as a natural response, despite the fact that the answers were delayed? That was the moment when preparation became clear. The crossing point is at this position. Once this perspective is changed, you are no longer compelled to wait for evidence. You are aware of the direction. Kindly avoid from skipping. Stay until the end. Something of enormous proportions awaiting you. Retain this moment. Please allow it to settle. Allow it to build a solid basis in your consciousness. Because once you acknowledge the events that are taking place, you are unable to revert to your previous self. My beloved kid, this is the moment when the weight of everything you've been through is finally lifted. Kindly avoid from skipping. Stay until the end. Something of enormous proportions awaiting you. This segment conveys the peaceful truth that serves as the foundation for the entire adventure. Observe the distinct sensation that this moment evokes. There is no haste or ambiguity right now. Instead, there is a persistent sense of confidence. That knowledge is not the outcome of chance. It is only attained when timing and preparation are ultimately reconciled. Kindly avoid from skipping. Stay until the end. Something of enormous proportions awaiting you. You are no longer located on the perimeter. You are experiencing the full situation. This is the point at which many storylines evolve from mere narratives to pivotal moments. Individuals who remember an event years later and say, "That was the moment when everything changed." The majority of individuals are unaware that such moments occur throughout their lifetimes. They're preoccupied. Scrolling away is their activity. They believe that because there is no audible activity, nothing major is taking place.